Hollywood froze, October 12, 2025, Diane Keaton, the quirky icon who made vulnerability a crown, is gone at 79. The news hit like a dagger, leaving Tinseltown reeling. But it's the chilling mystery of her final days, her family's silence, and raw confessions from co-stars like Bette Midler's tearful last call that'll break you. Dive into the life, loves, and secrets of the woman who redefined cinema. At 8:08 a.m. on October 11th, an emergency call sliced through the serenity of Sullivan Canyon, where Diane's 1920s Spanish Revival home, her Pinterest fever dream, meticulously reborn in her 2017 book, The House That Pinterest Built, stood as a monument to her creative spirit. Paramedics from the Los Angeles Fire Department rushed to the scene, transporting a 79-year-old woman to the hospital. By nightfall, the unthinkable was confirmed. Diane Keaton, the luminous soul behind Annie Hall, the Godfather trilogy, and father of the bride, had slipped away. Her family's spokesperson delivered a statement so stark it stung. "We ask for privacy during this time of profound grief. No cause of death, no whisper of her final moments, just a deafening void that's ignited a firestorm of speculation. Was it a sudden collapse? Close confidantes, voices trembling with shock, hint at a rapid decline. She faded so quickly," one told People magazine, eyes brimming with tears. It's heartbreaking. Nobody was prepared. Woody Allen, her creative soulmate and once great love, now 89, was reportedly blindsided, his grief forcing him to confront his own fading years. Al Pacino, her Godfather anchor, offered a hushed, "She was my harbor in the storm. The world's adrift without her." The family's silence, shielding her adopted children, Dexter and Duke, now adults, is a tender wall against the world's hunger for truth. Yet it leaves us grasping, combing through her last months for clues. In March 2025, she listed her beloved home for $29 million, later slashed to $27.5 million, a move that now feels like a quiet exit strategy. She looked vibrant, friends say, still layering turtlenecks and hats with that signature flair. How could someone so full of life vanish so suddenly? Born Diane Hall on January 5, 1946, in Los Angeles, she was the eldest of four, a dreamer woven from California's golden threads. Her mother, Dorothy Diane Keaton Hall, a former Mrs. Los Angeles with a photographer's heart, captured Diane's childhood in snapshots: hand-sewn ruffled dresses, bangs she despised, glasses that made her feel like an idiot, but sparked her love for reinvention. Dorothy's journals, later immortalized in Diane's 2011 memoir, Then Again, revealed a mother's awe and fear. Diane is a mystery. At times so basic, at others so wise, it frightens me. Her father, Jack Hall, a civil engineer with a knack for real estate, was the steady rock to Dorothy's dreamer soul. "She was my advocate," Diane told People in 2004, voice soft with loss. Secretly, she wanted to be an entertainer. Sang, played piano, was beautiful. Dorothy's unfulfilled dreams carved a vow in Diane's heart. "She's why I never married. I didn't want to give up my independence," she confessed in a 2021 interview. Santa Ana High was where the spark caught fire. As Nancy Twinkle in Little Mary Sunshine, Diane belted Mata Hari with a charisma that silenced the auditorium, her voice a siren call to stages beyond. Drama classes at Santa Ana College, then Orange Coast, were mere stepping stones. New York was her destiny. At 21, she dropped out, swapped Hall for Keaton, and plunged into Manhattan's unforgiving grind. The neighborhood playhouse was her crucible, rejections her daily bread. There were dark moments, she wrote in her 2014 memoir, Let's Just Say It Wasn't Pretty. Times when the dreams seemed dead. What kept her going? But shadows loomed. Bulimia gripped her during her Broadway days, sparked by a director's cruel lose-weight jab for 1968's Hair. Buckets of fried chicken, TV dinners, entire cakes, 20,000 calories in a single binge, she confessed on the Dr. Oz show in 2014. The lowest point of my life, she called it, until therapy became her salvation. I spoke it out. Once you do that, you own it. Skin cancer, diagnosed at 21, a family curse from Dorothy's side, forced her into turtlenecks, long sleeves and gloves, not vanity, but survival. She'd battled it multiple times. Her signature hats and scarves a shield against the sun's betrayal. Hollywood beckoned with 1970s lovers and other strangers. A cameo as a bride dumping her groom over his raisin-scented hair. Pure Keaton quirk. A glimpse of the neurotic charm to come. But 1972's The Godfather was her supernova. As Kay Adams, the poised wasp drawn into Al Pacino's Michael Corleone's mafia vortex, Diane brought a fragile strength to Francis Ford Coppola's epic. She didn't read Mario Puzo's novel before auditioning, arriving wide-eyed to a world of blood and betrayal. Their chemistry? Electric, spilling off-screen into a passionate, on-again, off-again romance from 1971 to the early 1990s. Al was my great love, she hinted in interviews, her eyes distant with the ache of roads not taken. Kay's arc, from innocent schoolteacher to exiled wife, mirrored Diane's own dance with love's comings and goings. I learned I couldn't shed light on love other than to feel its comings and goings and be grateful, she wrote in Then Again, a line that feels like a sigh across decades. Reprising Kay in The Godfather Part 2 and Part 3, 1990, she earned her third Oscar nomination, her confrontation with Michael in Part 2. A raw, wrenching cry of betrayal that left audiences breathless. Behind the scenes, her bond with Woody Allen deepened, a creative and romantic entanglement that fueled some of cinema's most enduring moments. Play it again, Sam, Sleeper, Love and Death. 8 films total, each a testament to their alchemy. Woody wrote Annie Hall as an idealized version of me, she reflected, a smile tinged with bittersweet longing. Insecurities plagued her. She refused to watch her own films, fearing her flaws, but her fire burned brighter, a beacon through the doubts. Her health battles added layers to her resilience. The bulimia that once consumed her was conquered through therapy, a victory she owned with unflinching honesty. Skin cancer, a lifelong shadow, required constant vigilance. Her turtlenecks and hats weren't just style but armor, a nod to her mother's own struggles with the disease. These fights shaped her, not as a victim but as a warrior. Her quirks a defiant embrace of survival. Annie Hall didn't just hit theaters. It detonated, a cultural earthquake that reshaped how we see love, neurosis, and neckties. Woody Allen's semi-autobiographical rom-com was a love letter to Diane, then 31, who embodied Annie, the neurotic la-di-da singing dreamer from Wisconsin, a mirror to her own soul. La-di-da, she trills in the iconic lobster scene, her wide-eyed panic dissolving into shared hysteria with Woody's Alvy Singer. The film swept the Oscars. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Actress for Diane at 32. Critics fell hard. The Hollywood Reporter hailed her as the consummate actress of our generation, her charm and spontaneity turning the improbable into poetry. But the real revolution was her style. Annie's wardrobe, baggy men's shirts, vests, ties, wide-legged pants, that fedora, was Diane's own, scavenged from Soho thrift shops and her own closet. Overnight, it became a cultural manifesto, a rebellion against Hollywood's cookie-cutter glamour. Women raided menswear racks, copying the thrown-together vibe New York magazine called Iconic. Ralph Lauren, in the foreword to Diane's 2024 book Fashion First, admitted, "I'm often credited with dressing Diane in Annie Hall, but it was the other way around. She inspired me." Designers like Giorgio Armani, Celine, and Tom Brown bowed to her influence. Stars like Blake Lively and Miley Cyrus called her their style muse. Even at 76, striding into Ralph Lauren's 2022 show in head-to-toe white, hat perched like a crown, she owned the room. Fashion First chronicles it all. "My muses were the cool women of Soho," she writes, flipping through Annie Leibovitz portraits and Ron Galella candids. "Bangs were my identity. I need a nose and mouth to breathe, but that doesn't mean I have to show them." The 1980s and 1990s were a kaleidoscope of reinvention. Reds, 1981, paired her with Warren Beatty as Louise Bryant, a fiery activist torn between love and revolution, earning her second Oscar nomination. Their off-screen fling, intense but fleeting, cooled into a lifelong friendship. Flops like The Little Drummer Girl, 1984, stung, but Baby Boom soared. Her corporate mom juggling diapers and ambition with comic grace. Directing beckoned. The Girl Who Came Between Them, Unstrung Heroes. Producing China Beach, a Vietnam nurses saga, earned her Emmys, her creative eye sharpening with every project. Dorothy's Alzheimer's diagnosis in 1993 shattered her. Diane cared for her mother until her death in 2008, weaving the pain into Then Again. "She was everything to me, the heart of what was best." The loss deepened her resolve to live on her terms. Father of the Bride cemented her as America's favorite movie mom. Her Nina Banks, a wry anchor to Steve Martin's chaos. "She made sets feel like home," Martin later said, voice thick with memory. The First Wives Club, 1996, with Bette Midler and Goldie Hawn, was a revenge anthem. Their Elise Elliott a dumped diva reclaiming her power. "Don't get mad, get even," they sang, but off-screen it was sisterhood, laughter, tears, and late-night talks. She was without the nastiness you'd expect from a star, Midler confided, eyes glistening. Marvin's Room, 1996, as leukemia-stricken Bessie opposite Meryl Streep, earned her fourth Oscar nod. "Working with her was like breathing rare air," Streep said, her voice catching. The 2000s were a golden encore. Something's Gotta Give, 2003, paired her with Jack Nicholson, her Erica Barry, a playwright whose rom-com spark proved age was no barrier. "Jack and I? Sparks flew without trying," she quipped, her throaty laugh echoing. The Family Stone, 2005, brought holiday warmth. Morning Glory showcased her as a steely producer. Book Club with Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, and Mary Steenburgen was wine-fueled wisdom. Their giggles a balm. Her final film, Summer Camp, 2024, with Kathy Bates, was a joyful romp. Camp counselors finding light in chaos. "She was a spark of life," Fonda said, voice breaking. Diane never married, a choice that roared defiance against Hollywood's playbook. Romances with Woody Allen, Al Pacino, Warren Beatty, even a flicker with Jack Nicholson burned bright, but faded. "I'm glad I never married. I'm an eccentric," she told people in 2019, her laugh a rebellion. Adopting Dexter in 1996 and Duke in 2001 at 50 and 55? "Thrilled," she said, her voice alight. "One of those things that comes your way, and you just say yes." Her dogs, Reggie, past pups like Emmy and Rusty, were her confidants, their quiet loyalty a mirror to her own. Health battles? Fashion was her gospel, a language of self. Her 2024 book Fashion First dissects it. 60s minis, 70s androgyny, inspired by Soho's cool women. 80s polka dots. 90s layered crosses like rosaries. Coolness, freedom, irresistible charm, Diane von Furstenberg praised, her voice warm with admiration. J. Crew's Olympia Guyot called her energy infectious. At her 70s, she evolved. Bowler hats, Oscar plaids, still amused to Ralph Lauren, Armani, and beyond. "Bangs were my identity," she wrote. "I need a nose and mouth to breathe, but that doesn't mean I have to show them." Her final months are a puzzle wrapped in heartbreak. In March 2025, she listed her Sullivan Canyon home for $29 million, later dropping to $27.5 million, a move that now feels like a quiet farewell. Friends insist she seemed vibrant, still layering turtlenecks, scarves, and hats with that effortless flair, walking Reggie through Brentwood's leafy streets. Yet whispers of a rapid decline paint a different picture. "It was unforeseen," a confidant told People, voice cracking. She faded so fast. Was it a return of her skin cancer? A battle she'd fought since 21? A heart event, silent and swift? Her health history offers clues, though none definitive. Bulimia, a shadow from her hair days, was conquered decades ago, but its toll lingered in her candid reflections. Skin cancer, a family curse, required constant vigilance. She spoke openly of multiple surgeries. Her turtlenecks and gloves a necessity, not a quirk. In a 2014 interview, she described her lowest point, binging on fried chicken and banana cream pies, 20,000 calories in a night, until therapy gave her back her voice. Her mother's Alzheimer's, which consumed Dorothy from 1993 to 2008, was another wound. Diane cared for her tirelessly, the pain fueling. Then again, could a new illness have struck, silent and swift? Diane Keaton was no mere actress. She was a force, a woman who rewrote Hollywood's rules. Her career, spanning over 50 years, was a tapestry of triumphs. 4 Oscar nominations, a win for Annie Hall, Golden Globes, BAFTAs, and a National Board of Review award. She worked with legends: Coppola, Allen, Beatty, Nicholson, Streep, Martin, yet remained grounded, her ego untouched by fame's glare. Directors praised her preparation, her creative spark that elevated every scene. Co-stars marveled at her generosity, letting others shine without chasing the spotlight. "She was like your coolest friend," Martin said, voice thick with loss. Not a star, but a soul. Her influence transcended the screen. Fashion? A revolution. Her Annie Hall looks, menswear layers, wide belts, floppy hats, became a blueprint for individuality. Designers from Ralph Lauren to Celine cited her as muse. Magazines featured her style into her 70s. She proved aging didn't mean fading. It meant evolving, defying trends with a turtleneck and a grin. Her books, then again, let's just say it wasn't pretty. Brother and Sister saved offered windows into her mind, a cabinet of fascinations critics adored. Her design books celebrated architecture. Her homes, like her Sullivan Canyon masterpiece, were love letters to history and heart. She never bowed to Hollywood's expectations. Choosing single motherhood at 50, adopting Dexter and Duke, she built a family on her terms. Romances with Allen, Pacino, Beatty, and Nicholson, intense but never defining. "I'm an eccentric," she laughed, embracing solitude's richness. Her dogs were her quiet joys, walks with Reggie a ritual of peace. Her health battles, bulimia, cancer, were fought with the same grit that carried her from Santa Ana to the Oscars, a testament to a spirit that refused to break. The timing of her loss feels cruel. At 79, she was still a force. Rumors of new projects, perhaps a memoir on her love for dogs, swirled. Modern audiences were rediscovering her classics, from Annie Hall's neurotic charm to the First Wives Club's empowering sass. Her home sale, now a poignant clue, suggested she was preparing for a new chapter, not an ending. Hollywood has lost not just a star, but a bridge to its golden era. A woman who worked with legends and became one herself. Diane was no mere star, a singular force. 4 Oscar nods, a win, Globes, BAFTAs. She elevated every frame, generous, egoless. Fashion? A revolution. Books? Soul-bearing. Homes? Love letters. Single motherhood, independence. Her script. At 79, with projects rumored, her loss stings. Marathons of Godfather, Annie, First Wives will light screens. Fashion houses plan tributes. Film schools will study her. Her magic lives. In Kay's Fury. Annie's La-Di-Da. Every turtleneck. Subscribe to our channel for more on Diane's immortal spark. Share her story. Honor her light. Rest easy, our eternal Annie. You're forever.
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.